Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to all the participants. Myself, Lavanya Santosh, Assistant Professor, Department of CSC, Dr. IT, and coordinator of this webinar. I welcome all the dignitaries and participants to this webinar on hands-on session on data management and background task in Android. Now I request our HOD sir, Dr. Siddharaju, Dean Academics, Professor and Head, to welcome today's speaker, Raghavendra CR. Over to you, sir. Siddharaju sir. Sir?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಲಾವಣ್ಯ? ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, now it is audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, friends. Have a happy and safe day. Let me all pray the Almighty to face the challenges of COVID-19. Friends, it is my pleasure and happy to share my words with you all on this auspicious occasion. Today, my youngest team is organizing the hands-on session on blockchain and data management system. The resource persons who has accepted our invitations and agreed to deliver the talk on this above said topic is none other than my good old friend, an eminent personality, a knowledgeable research person, Sri Raghavendra CR. Basically an engineer, having vast experience in the field of software engineering, especially in data management and blockchain technology. Mr. Raghavendra, on behalf of computer science family and Dr. AIT, my warm welcome you, sir, to deliver the talk on this above topic. At the same time, it's my duty to welcoming all my distinguished friends, student community, from the other institutions, my distinguished senior faculty of the CS department and the college. So all are welcome to participate today's hands-on session. And also I'm urging people, because today we are organizing one of the best and most wanted technology system in the field of computer science. Hence, I request you all to make use of all these best possible facilities what is going to delivered by the research person. And it's my duty also to congratulate Professor Lavanya and team who have taken a lot of interest to organize this webinar. So with these few words, over to Lavanya. Once again, I wish you good luck. Make use of all these possible best facilities. Thank you all. Good day. Over to Lavanya.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your motivational words. Thank you, sir.
Lavanya?
Now, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, continue.
Now I request today's speaker, Mr. Raghavendra CR, to take over the session. Participants, if you have any questions in the middle, you can just raise your hand, or you can put your questions in the chat box. Over to you, Raghavendra. You can start the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Lavanya.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sir. Hi, guys. I hope everyone has installed Android Studio in your machine, right? So Let me share my screen. So we'll start with our first example today. So we will be covering today how to manage data on Android device and also how to do a background task. So I'll be demonstrating to you people. The first thing will be storing and retrieving data on files in Android storage. And next thing will be we'll be demonstrating you how to use a remote service to do a background task. And next after that will be working with database. So I'm going to extend that example to show it to how to make a database as a content provider. So let's start, guys. So I'll start sharing my screen. uh, Before that, I just want to know, anyone can raise their hand here and I can answer. You know how many types I can store data in an Android phone? Different ways, basically how I can store data in an Android phone. Anyone has answer? Hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, Raghavendra, you are audible.
Yeah,
You are
okay.
audible.
Yeah. So
Participants, you can just answer or you can answer to the question in the chat box, please.
yes. Please write your answers or if you have any queries in the chat box. So guys, I'll share my screen. Let's start it. So like you develop application, it will be installed on your phone. So you want some data to be stored in your device, that in your app basically. Uh, you want it to be stored privately to that app so that it cannot be accessed to any other application in the app. So you want it to be secure. So first way of doing it is creating a database. So you can store the data as private to application. So I hope everyone can see my screen.
No, Raghavendra, your screen is not visible.
So is it?
Yeah.
I just shared my screen. Okay. Okay. I hope my screen is visible right now.
Yeah, it's visible, but screen is not visible.
You're seeing a
Uh,
notepad you can see? I open a
no,
notepad?
no.
No, not. Okay, let me share it again. Let me know once you see the notepad.
Yes, it's visible now. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. So you can store the data in your mobile phone for your app in two ways. One is private to that application, and one is shared memory. So what do you mean by shared memory or a memory that is accessible to everyone? So private storage means you are storing a file and you want it to be accessed only to your application, then you can store it to the private storage of the application. And second way is that is called private storage of file, file to app. And the second way is preferences. So that second way is preferences. Third one is database. So when it comes to database, we will be having only SQLite OpenHelper, which is pre-built installed with the Android firmware. Okay. So you will be using three mechanisms to store the files on the device. That is private to application, that is private storage of file to app, preferences, and database. And you can store as by creating a database. And for that, you will be using SQLite OpenHelper. So to share it means it is accessible to other applications, then you will be storing it on internal memory. Next way, another way is like your SD card. So when you store it on your internal memory SD card, these files are accessible to other applications. And so how you can do it, like you download an image from the internet, you open it using the galleries application, just like that. So if you are storing your files on internal memory or a SD card, it is accessible to every other application. If you're storing files or database private to the application, you need to use the private storage of the app. So now today I'll be demonstrating you people how to store data on your SQLite database using SQLite Open Helper, and I'll be showing you how to store the data on an internal memory or SD card of your phone. Okay, let me start with my first example, that will be storing data on your SD card or internal memory. So everyone, please open your Android Studio. Hope my Android Studio is visible for you people, right? So what? Now you create a new project. Everyone follow as I do, so that you don't need to catch up later. So please ping me if you want me to wait. So everyone is ready with Android Studio? I assume yes. Then shall I continue? So
Participants,
everyone, just go.
participants, you guys are ready with
Please
the
pick
Android
up.
Studio? Please respond.
You can unmute your mic and you can tell it if you have not. You still need some time. Please let me know. If you don't speak up, I assume it's already ready and I'll continue. Is that fine? No problem. Unmute your mic and speak up.
Yes. If you have anything to say, you can just unmute. Okay. Hope.
Right?
Hello, sir. Some of them having some problem
Guys,
in that
please
Java file path setup, sir. They are not able to install the
file
Android
path.
Studio properly. Yeah. Can I ask them to
Oh,
just
is
share
it?
their screen, sir?
Yes. You want not? Yeah. Let them
Okay.
share this. I will just stop sharing. So
Okay,
I'll just see
I'll
what is
just
the
ask
problem.
them, sir. Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah. Guys, anyone facing issue setting up Android Studio or any settings, please share your screen. I can help you out with that.
Anyone, Suprita, you had asked now? Hello, are you there? Anyone else? Please ask if you're having problems installing your Android Studio. Otherwise, we'll continue with the session. Is it
Yeah.
okay?
Otherwise,
We assume it that
guys,
it is
yes. Yeah. I'll
installed
run
already.
it. I'll continue.
So please continue, sir. Please
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. Okay. Guys, I assume that if you're not speaking up, you're able to follow. Does it make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
Raghavendra. That's fine. You can just
Yeah.
continue this session. Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, follow as I do. Let me share my screen. Guys, please speak up or type in a chat box. I can help you out. Okay. So, you're able to see my screen, right, everyone? Yeah.
Yes, it is
Now I'll
visible.
start. Yeah. Create a new project. Go to File, New. In here, New Project. Yeah. You will see a project selection dialog here, which we want to do. Everyone don't select a basic activity, select empty activity. Can you see here how I selected? So all done, right? If anyone is struck up, please speak out. Please select empty activity so that everything will be same as I do in your machine also. Shall I continue? Yes. Again, I'll show you once again. Go to File, New, New Project. Here select Empty Activity. In the phone bar tablet tab, you select Empty Activity. Next. That's next. Here, you need to give the name of your application. I will give it as file example. Give it a file example. Uh, Give the package name, leave it as it is, don't change anything, how it is coming in your machine. For me, I usually follow with Titan, so it comes like this. This is a location where you're gonna store the file, and this is a language you want which you wanna use. So select Java here, don't select Kotlin. Select Java. Okay. This is a minimum version of Android which is showing on your machine. Please select that. For me, I have installed many versions, so it is showing many here. Okay. So hope everyone has reached the screen. Done. Shall I continue? Everyone done, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll pause for a second now. So I'll continue then, guys. Please select Java, and you don't miss it again. You need to again write code in Kotlin. That will be difficult again for you people. So select Java here, and whatever it is showing here, please leave it as it is. Don't need to change as I has here. Only you just give us name of the project as file example. That's enough. Select Java. Select any minimum version. For me, I'm choosing 15, which is installed in my machine. It may be different for you. Leave it as it is. Not a problem. Okay. So we will press finish. So everyone could able to get a screen like this, yes or no? So your project will be opened by the Android Studio in a separate window or in the same window, whatever it is. So I'll close my previous project. So I'll just open this here. Can you see here, everyone? Everyone will be having a structure like this. Anyone facing a problem, please let me know. Okay. So you'll be seeing like this the structure. So you can select your Android. If anyone has missed here, it will be showing which is Android, and after that you can see the structure like this. Everyone able to do this? Yes, guys. Next, please reach out to Veena ma'am or Lavanya ma'am if you're facing any difficulties. They can help you out also. So shall we start, guys? The programming part. Uh, as I said, guys, I will be using first storing data on internal memory or SD card. So I'll start with that example first. So you know how to read and write a file in Java? Basically, Java principle is used here also, but the path and all will vary here. To read and write a file, you need to work with file system. To work with file system, you'll be using a user-friendly APIs provided by the Android or Java framework, which is file input stream and file output stream. Okay, we call it as file input stream and file output stream for reading and writing. Input stream will help you to read data from your storage. Output stream will help you to write data to a file. So you need to work, if you're working with bytes, then use file input stream and file output stream. If you want to work with text, people go with buffered input stream and buffered output stream, sorry, buffer writer and reader. So I'll be using these two classes, input stream and file output stream. As the name stream suggests, it will help you to work with bytes. As file suggests, it will help you to work with data on the file. Okay, so everyone, you can now note down this what I'm typing on the notepad. You can note down for your reference. So I'll be using file input stream and file output stream. So I'll start with my example now. What I will do here is first I'll be starting with You can see a tab. If you're not seeing Android manifest.xml file, you can get it here. You can go to resources here. See, your app will be like this. If you expand, you'll get many folders. Under that, there will be a folder called res folder. Here, if you expand, you can see a layout folder called layout. Here, you will be having a file called activity.xml, activity underscore main.xml. You may be having a lot of junk here. Just excluding first line, everyone just remove it. Means it will be coming with a default set of code that I don't need right now. I will remove this. Only have the first line, except that remove everything. So linear layout, I'll use linear layout for this example. I'll just create this. For this, the namespace is required. Rather than typing, I'll do this. Create a linear layout like this. Yeah, okay. So it is showing some errors. What is that? I need to give a property called width and height. I assume everyone has a knowledge of the linear layout.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That is equal to vertical. Wait a second. Okay. Everyone if you're facing these three namespaces has to be included for it to work. Sorry. As I think you know how to use the IDE. You want me to walk through that? See, when you want to use any property, just type like this: Android :H. Automatically it will pop up. Select that. If it's not popping up, press Control Spacebar together. Again, it will come back. Hmm. Match parent. What do you mean by match parent? Any idea, anyone? So match parent helps you to fit to the screen width and height accordingly. Wrap content will help you means exact screen width and exact screen height. But there's one more property called wrap content that will help you to fit the content according to the height of the content. Means suppose if you have a linear layout with width as match parent and this as wrap content, means this linear layout will occupy the screen height depending on the contents under it. Okay, if you give it match parent, regarding of the content under it, it will occupy whole screen width and screen height. So match parent to match it to width and height of the screen, wrap content based on the content under it, it will occupy. Okay, so now everyone could able to do like this. Now what I will do is I will create a button and I'll create a text box. I need a text box and a button and a text view that will show the content of the file. So what I will do is I will enter something in the text box. I'll press save button. When I press save button, it gets saved to the file. So when I say retrieve button, when I press the retrieve button, it will show the content from the file. So this is what I want to do right now. So I will create two buttons. One is save and one is retrieve. Uh, and I will create a text box that will help you to enter the text. And I will create a text view that will help you to show the contents on the screen. So let's start with that. I'll edit text right here. As parent, I'll say wrap content. and let colon multi-line and let colon sorry id. You are I think you are aware of these properties. I don't want to walk through this. I just faster at plus id slash what txt txt content underscore content text. Below that, I'll be having a linear layout again with match parent and height as wrap content and orientation as horizontal. Horizontal. So now I want something under it. So I'll remove the end tag here. We can add a slash here. I just removed that and I created ending tag so that I can place some content under it. What I will do, I just create a button. What wrap content, enter button tag here, and red colon ID, btn, save. Just give it as btn underscore save, and red colon text as what? Text as save. So I don't want to write the code again. I'll just copy paste it. Just copy paste it here, and I'll make it as what? Directory. Okay. So I have two button and I'll make this gravity as center so that it will come at the center of the scene, and upon gravity I'll use because so everyone could able to see the screen like this now. Wait, as it loads, I'll zoom in here. Can you see like this, everyone? There's a text box here. There's a save button. There's a retrieve button which is aligned center. Width of the linear layout as match parent, height as wrap content, and this is a text box to enter text. So everyone could able to see like this. So please complete this. I'll give you 5 minutes. Just see through the code and let me know if you're not able to finish this. Please do it fast. See, if you don't know, you don't want to type this namespace plus Alt Enter. Plus Alt Enter. Automatically that namespace will come. If space, don't worry, just press Alt Enter. Sorry for that. There's something else. Alt Enter. Automatically you can see the namespace coming in. Okay. Don't keep on typing it. I just make this gravity as center. So that all content will come at center of the screen. Guys, anyone has a question?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yeah. So everyone has finished this, right? Shall I scroll down? See, ending tag will be linear layout. Just you need to add it and two linear layouts like this. So we create edit text mm, like this and two linear layout. Okay, once you end this linear layout, I'm gonna create one text view. Width is match parent, height is match parent because I want it to occupy, sorry, wrap content. 100 colon id that is equal to and plus id slash lbl content lbl underscore message. I'll make it Android colon id Android colon text. Initially, it will say no data available. It will be showing like that. So I'm giving initial text. Just give before the last ending tag of linear layout. Just add this text view before the last ending tag of linear layout. So and I'll just give gravity here. Center so that text will be displayed at center of its width and height. So everyone can see a screen like this. Everyone, anyone facing an issue, let me know, please. Don't hesitate. I'm here to help you also. Please let me know. So shall I continue? I hope everyone has done with this layout, right? So my design looks like this. Now I want to store and retrieve file on a system. How I'll do, when I press save button, I'll take the content from the text box and I'll save it to file. When I press retrieve button, whatever there in the file, I'll display and show it on this text view. This is my right now a problem statement. So first, what you want to do is read the content from this text box when you press save button and store it to a file. Next time when you press retrieve button, whatever there in the file, retrieve it and show it on a screen. So I'm done with my screen. I will walk through to next thing is my activity. Everyone can see your project structure there under the app folder. You can have a folder called Java. Under that, there will be three packages. Under that, you will have one main package where your source code file will be there. That is having an activity called main activity. Open that. Okay. So once you open that, you could be able to see that will be overridden, which is that on create. If anyone is not seeing the same screen, let me know. So this is my screen, this is my activity. This is and this activity is showing the activity underscore main layout. Now the layout will be shown. But I want and I will say edit text. what txt content. So I need three references. So I declared three objects, sorry, four objects. Two objects of type button, one object of type message, and another object of type edit text. So next, what I will do is that is find sorry, find view by ID. There's a method that will help you to search for the ID which you give on the currently displayed layout. Okay, which is a currently displayed layout activity underscore main. Under that, I have a label called a text view called lvl underscore message. I could able to find that now. Next thing is txt underscore content is equal to edit text of find view by id or dot id dot txt underscore content. I could bring the reference of that here also. I assume that you people are aware of this and you have worked on layouts and activity. So btn underscore retrieve equal to button of find view by id r dot id dot btn underscore retrieve. Makes sense, right? I brought four references. Now next step is when I click a button, something must happen. For that, I'll be using on-click listener interface. I'll be using a on-click listener interface that has a method called on-click, which will be called on any view click. Basically, you can link that to any view click. How to link that? You need to make that view dot set on click listener to that reference of the interface. So please complete this. I'll continue after that. I'll give you 5 minutes to type this. Sorry for that. If you are given the same names in the layout, then only you don't see any errors. Otherwise, you will see errors. So what you are given is this layout. Please give the same references here. Otherwise, you'll be seeing a red mark. See how I'll show you. You will be seeing a red text in red saying that does not exist. Why? Because it is not matching what is in the layout. So anyone is getting the errors like this, please check it out what you are given for the text view, what you are given for the text box, for the buttons. Same needs to be given here. So shall I continue, guys? If you need some more time, please ping in the chat box.
Yes, sir, you can continue.
I can continue. Great, thanks. Okay. So next up is implementing. See, you have a class that extends app compare activity. If a class extends activity, then it is activity. The main activity is a activity now. So next, if you want to implement any interface after extends and class name keyword, you just type implements keyword in that, which is the interface. See, you can have two on-click listener. People will do the mistake here only. There are two on-click listener. One is what? Two on-click listener. One is android.view.view. Another one is android.content.dialog. So you need to select android.view.view on-click listener. Don't select android.content.dialog interface. So select this on-click listener. You will be getting an error like this. I hope everyone is getting an error like this. Yes or no? Yeah, again I'll show you. Just here on ON, you type, automatically it will pop up. If it is not coming, press Control Space Bar together. It will start showing the hints. Here you select it, view dot on click listener, and press enter. After press enter, it will be imported. What happens when you press enter means automatically import statement will be done. You can see here android.view.view. You can see this view will be imported automatically. No need for you to write an import statement. That is a best thing you can utilize from the IDE is select everything from the IDE. Don't type by hand. Okay, now guys, there's error, right? What is that error? The class main item must be declared abstract or implement which method? On-click method. So how to implement on-click method, guys? Tell me any idea? Everyone click on this on-click listener. Here, view.onClick listener. You will get the red bulb icon saying this error. What is the solution for this? You can see the solutions here, right? Implement method, make main activity abstract. Second one I don't need. First one I need, which is that implement methods. So click on the bulb. You will see a drop down. From there you select implement methods. It will show you a pop up. I don't want the second to be implemented. I just want only on click method to be implemented. Select that. So automatically you can see on click method coming here. Again, I'll show you guys this here. You are seeing error. Bring your mouse here on the on click, press once. Automatically you can see a balloon popping up. If a balloon is not popping up, bring your cursor here, press it, press your mouse button here, left button. Just press Alt Enter. Automatically it will show a suggestion what to do for this. Okay, you say just press, bring your mouse cursor here, press Alt Enter. Implement methods, just do this. It will show a pop-up, select on click and press. It will be implemented. Now, I want to tell button save to wait for click event. How to tell button to wait for click event? btn save dot set on click listener. Means when you are click, call on click method of which class? This class. Like that, button underscore retrieve set on click listener of which class? This class. Means when both buttons are clicked, on click method will be called. So when you click save, we will be referring to save. When you press retrieve button, we will be referencing the retrieve button. So add a if else loop to distinguish which was clicked. If v equals what btn underscore save retrieve, do this. Okay, sorry, do this. Else what? Else if v equals what? btn underscore save, do this. So let's do that first now. Okay, what I will do now, I'll just after this closing brace, you just write public void write to file. I'm creating a function write to file. Everyone completed this much on click listener? After creating on-click listener, just write a method called save to write to file. String file name, string content. I need three things. Means where the path, the file needs to be stored, the file name needs to be stored, and content needs to be stored. So content which needs to be written to the file. Fine. Okay. Just create this one. So don't forget this. Otherwise, if when you click, nothing will happen to your button. Okay. Now I told you two classes. Which are those? File input stream and file output stream. Output stream is to write to a file. I will use it here now. File output stream, FOS, type it this file, file output stream. You just give the path of the file. It's a path, comma, file. So file is not imported, so it is showing error. I just use control space bar, it will be automatically imported. So you just open the file for writing using file output stream. How to do this? This is the line of code that will do. You just pass the path, which is the file name, create as a file object, pass it to file output stream. File output. Now we have a reference of file output stream. From here, you can do writing to a file as bytes. So now you can see one more error. What is this? Unhandled means it may show if you give wrong path or a file name, it will show exception. So you need to guard that. So what you will do, bring your mouse and click on that error. Automatically it will pop up. Here in the error bulb, just select surround with try catch. Surround with try catch. Automatically it will add a try catch over that line of code. Finish this. Okay. Now FOS dot write. Now I want to write to a file. I need to write it as a bytes. So what will I do? Write, which is the I can use. Add exception to this. I need to select this. Add exception to the existing catch clause. Select that and finish it. It will show IO exception will be changed so that it will handle both file not found exception and writing exception. So it has changed to IO exception now. Now, after writing to a file, close the file. First that close. See, every time when you write to a file, it will remove the old content, it will put the new content. If you want it to append the content, you just here give it true. Give it true. Means append. It will ask for append equal to true. Let's make like this. You can see append means true, means existing content will new content will be appended to the existing content.
I think some technical issue. Please cooperate.
Yes. Turn over. Sorry. Sorry guys, I got disconnected. So everyone could complete this. So see, I want to read the content of the file now. I'm creating one more method called void read file. Here it will give the content as string. It will return the content as string. Now I'll give the path and the file name. It will give the content of the file as string. Now what I will do is I'll use file input stream. Here I'll just give new of file. So I'm creating here the file input stream. Again, the error balloon will pop up. Click on that. Surround statement try catch. Now I'll try to read from the file.read. So before I read, I need it to be as a byte array. So I want to check, I want to read how much content that is available in the file. So I'm creating a byte array called data here equal to new of byte fi as dot available means file input stream dot available will give me the size of available number of bytes. Okay, you just change it to IO exception here, so all exception will be guarded. Okay, so fi as dot available will give me the available number of bytes in the file. So I'm going to read that. So I'm allocating memory for the byte array equal to amount of data available in the file. So I could able to initialize the byte array read function but pass the data how much size it is initialized that much data will be read and stored in the data byte array. Now return it, return New of what?
Hello, Ravindra.
Yes.
Uh, okay. Your voice was not audible.
Oh, is it? Okay. It's now clear?
Now it's fine, clear.
Yeah. Okay. So I just giving them as example. Yeah, I did a bad thing here. I didn't close the file itself. So I'll make it file dot close. I missed this statement. So please add this also. Hope I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. So you see, I think you're seeing the Android Visual Studio screen, right? Sorry, Android Studio screen, right? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, guys, done with this? Shall I continue? If no, please ping in the chat group. So, if you want me to copy the code, I'll just type it like this, the whole code. See, I'll copy the code from inside this starting and ending brace. Okay. So don't add that. You just need to paste it in a copy. I'll just go here. There's a code for your activity. I'm sharing it in a chat box. Just copy and paste it. Oh, it has some message. It has some restriction, I guess, with the size. So I'll do function by function. First, I will do sharing of this. Like this first. Next, on create function, I'll share. Next, write to file function, I'll share. Next, read file function, I'll share. Just copy paste it into your activity. Okay. So let's start, guys. Let's start now. Once you copy paste the code, or if anyone is lagging behind, please copy paste the code what I have done right now. So now I will press save button. I'll come to on click method. I'll press save button. And I press save button, something must happen, right? What it has to do? It has to do is read the content from the text box and save it to the file. I'll string say data equal to txt content dot get text dot to string. Means from the text box I got the data as a string. What I will do, I will call the function write to a file. See, I need a path, right? So to get the path of SD card, string path equal to, you can type environment dot get external storage directory or get data directory, whatever it is. Get call the data directory will point to internal memory. If you have two separate memories, internal and external, then you need to call get data directory and sorry, get external storage directory will point any one of that, either internal memory, external memory. Data directory means there is a separate storage for files shared, there it will point. Now I'll use what? External storage directory dot get absolute path. I'll get the path of the external storage file directory. Then I'll give the file name as what? File name as uh, example.txt. Type the file name as example.txt. Here I'll just write the file name. Okay, I just pass the path here, file name here, and I'll pass the content to write. So this function call will write the content to the file, means append the content basically to the file. Okay, when I want to retrieve it, now what I will do is string. Now I want to retrieve the data, right? String data response equal to what? Read data, read file. Again, you need a path and a file name to read. Okay, I will just paste it. Path, comma, file name. Okay, that's enough. It will read the content, give it in data response. I will say lvl underscore message dot set text data response. Okay, so uh, done, guys. This is my on click method which I'm gonna use. How it will, what it will do? It will read the content from text box. When I press save button, it will get the path of the external storage directory and file name I have given as example.txt. Write to file will write to the example.txt in external storage, the content which I pass here. Then read file method, when I press retrieve method, I'll call the read file method. For that, I'll pass the path and file name. It will write the content. It will show the content which is read from the file on the message, label message. Clear? So I'm done with this. Now I can run this example, but it will not store to file still. Why? Why? Because Android requires permission to store data on the file. Sorry, any application that wants to store and retrieve data on external storage, it must declare the permission in the manifest file so that when application is being installed, it will ask for the permission. It will ask for the permission, and if that is successful, then if you allow the permission, then it will allow you to read and write the file. So next step, I'll just ping in the chat box this piece of code. So here's a question called LBL. What is LBL message? It's a text view. Means I want to display data here. I have created a text view in the layout called LBL message. Okay, that I have got a reference here, and here you can see I declared the object here. I got a reference here. So LBL message is a text view object. To that, I'm calling set text method. The text will be displayed to that. Yeah. Now I want to run this. How can I do? Everyone either set up an emulator or you connect your phone via USB. I'm gonna connect my phone via USB. I'm gonna connect my phone via USB. We can see our device getting detected here, right? I have Visor installed in my machine so that I can share my screen here. Okay, I'll just run my, see, this will not work. Sorry. Before that, I need to declare permission, then I'll run this. Everyone use the USB cable, connect your phone via USB. Then you can see the device being set up here. Or if you have an emulator, you just select the emulator, it will start. So anyone is fine. If you have an emulator, run with emulator. Or if you have a phone, you connect via phone by USB and run it. Okay. So now, guys, everyone come back to this here. Here you can find Android manifest in the project structure under manifest folder. You just go there after application tag. Please keep this in mind. See, I'll explain you the manifest file also. Manifest is a file that acts as a deployment descriptor for any Android application. So in a manifest file, you need to get a package name. This package name must be same as that what is here. Okay. Next thing is you need to create, like when application is installed, it will take this icon which you have given here and the name you have given here. Same will come as a icon on your phone home screen. Okay. Then you have to tell the application, which means you have to tell Android system which all the activities are in your application. You can do with the declaration of activity tag. So currently I have only one activity, so I have declared only one here. Now I need to make it as what? Users permission. What is the permission? Right. Write external storage. I want to write external storage, right? And also I need to use what? Android name permission. What? Read external storage. So two permissions you need to declare in your manifest. Two permissions. Which are those? Read internal storage, write external storage. What happens is when you download application from Play Store, you try to install it, will in the setup screen, in the installation screen, it will show you this permission. Means your this app wants to use permission to read and write storage. If you enable there, it will you can able to store and retrieve files. So declaring permission is very much important. Otherwise, you can't read and write a file in Android. If you have a code also, that will not work until you have this permission enabled for your app. So yep. Okay. Now I pinged the same permissions in the chat box. Please copy and paste it only after the application tag before the manifest end tag. Please declare two permissions. You're done with this. Next thing is running the code. How to run the code? Just go here and press play button. You select which device you want to run this APK file. Just go here. I just use Visor. I'll install my app on this my phone. I'm running this. Will take some time. See, it is being installed. You can see the screen, right? It got installed and automatically opened. Just select a device which you want and press play button. Automatically, it will install the app on your phone. So, if anyone is facing a problem, let me know. So when I press save, nothing is happening. Why? It is not installed from a Play Store. It is installed from my machine. I am not asking dynamic permissions. So you go to file example. See, in my phone, I'm searching for file example. Hold on to it. Go to app info. Go to app info. Long press on that icon on home screen. Go to app info. You can see in the permission tag, nothing is being granted for me, right? So I'll click on the permissions tag. You can see storage, enable it.
Sir, we
Okay.
cannot see that screen, sir. Like whichever you're talking that in your phone that
Yes.
you're.
Okay. You go to your home screen. Okay. Just you have you run the application on your phone.
No, not yet, sir. But we can't see your screen yet.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry for that. I'll just share it. Wait. Thanks for notifying me. Now you can see, I guess. Now you can see Visor here.
Yes, sir. We can see. Sir. Yeah.
Yes. You install Visor software. You can share your screen. I'm sharing my screen through Visor. I've installed C. Let me uninstall and show you. Okay. Now see, my phone is here. I connected my phone. I want to rerun my application. Just go here and press play button. Okay. Select a device which is connected or emulator which is connected. It will install the app on your phone. Okay. By default, no permissions will be enabled. Since it is not, I'm not installing it from the Play Store, so that while installation time it will ask you. So, and also I'm not did any code for dynamic permission, asking dynamic permissions. So you once it is installed on your phone or emulator, go to home screen here, just long press on the file example icon, and the app info you can see. When you press on app info, you'll come to file example here. No permission is granted. Click on that. When no permission is granted, click on that. Here, storage, enable it. Okay. When it's get enabled, you can store and retrieve data now. So after installation, once you do it, it's enough. Now you open your app, file example, or reinstall it again. Doesn't matter. It will open the. I could open the screen like this. Okay, can you see my screen? I'll enter something. I'll enter A, and I press what? Save. Okay, it's saved now. When you press retrieve, you can see it is being shown here, right? Yes or no? Now I'll clear the text box. I will add BBBB. I'll press what? Save. Already there were 4 A's in the file. Now 5 B's I'm typing and press save button. When I press retrieve button, it must show me what? 4 A's, 5 B's. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yep. You're getting the same thing? 4 A's, 5 B's. Yes, like that. Now I will type something else. I press what? Save. So what will happen now? It will get saved. It is getting appended. As I told you earlier, it is getting appended. Okay. What I will do now? I'll press what? Retrieve. What will happen? It will show the contents getting appended. Yes or no? Right? So this is your files example. Clear? If you have any
Yes, sir.
questions, please post it on the chat. Yeah, clear? Okay then. So clear now? Yeah. I forgot to add one toast message for your understanding here. Write to file, add a toast message. Toast.make text. Context means this. Dot what? File saved. File saved. Toast dot length long dot show. Just add this so that file content saved. It will show you as content saved. It will show you content saved. It will be helpful for you. So I didn't add that previously, so it was getting saved. There was no notification for you. Now I'm adding a toast message, so it will show you a notification. Now see, already file is having some content. I'll try to rewrite the file as ttt3 content I'm writing. The best what? Save. You can see a toast message now. Content saved. Again, I'll add I here. So I add a toast message. It is showing content saved. When I press retrieve, it must show me now TTT file III coming back. Can you see here? Yes. Now when you check your SD card, you can find it. Let me show you that also. See, this is my SD card root folder. Under that, I'll be having a file. I was calling you. Can you see abc.txt here? abc.txt and example you can see anywhere here. Can you see example.txt file? Can you see example.txt file here? This is what the file I created. I'll just open in what? Open in docs. Hmm. You can see the content being saved here, and my program was able to fetch and retrieve content from that. Okay, clear? Can you see all the contents here? Yes, this is how to work with files. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yep, good one. You're able to follow that, right? The examples? Yep. I try to now share you this layout file also. Since it will not allow me to share completely, I just make it into pieces. If anyone who is facing problem with the layout, please take this code. See, I copied first is this till this much. Next is this. Like that, I will share you till button. Now first button. Like that only copy and paste it in your layout. Okay. Great. And so everyone able to get the output? A big yes. Can you speak yes or no? You want me to store how to enable permission again? Or are you able to get that? At least I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Again, permissions we want it again.
Okay, permissions. Good. Yes. Now, see, go to when app is installed, go to your home screen, just type file example. You will see the icon of your app. Here, long press on it. Go to app info. Okay, go to app info. You can see here your app information. You can see permissions since I have enabled. By for you, it will be like this. No permission granted. Can you see this? Now enable the, go here, just enable the storage permission and you're done. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank
Afterward,
you.
yeah, you can read and write up. Clear? So this is about file example. So now we'll go and try one more thing, that is running background task. So can we take a 5 minutes break?
Okay, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We will.
We'll have break, Raghavendra, for 10 minutes.
Yes, yes. We'll have a break for 10
We'll
minutes.
continue.
Yeah.
We'll continue by 11:45.
Yes. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys. Hi, guys. I hope everyone is back. Okay, then. So let's start with services. Anyone has idea what is service? Anyone can speak up. I want it to be an interactive session. Please feel free to speak out if you know something. Any idea what is services and background task? What do you mean by background task at least? When you develop app, you will come across a scenario where you want an app to be running indefinitely in your phone. Yes or no? You will come across a scenario where you will be running an app indefinitely in your phone. Means it, I want it to be running in background. Nothing is displayed on the screen. It keeps on running. Tell me a scenario where you need it. See, you will get a new email notification, right? When a new email comes to your Gmail or any other email account, you will get a notification on your Android phone. Yes or no? Yes. In that scenario, previously there was some requirement like now it is there push notification. A lot of other new technologies have come. Previously, there was nothing like every time server speaks to client speaks will ask server will respond. So in that scenario, you need something to be running in background to check the server whether data has come or not. When data is available, you will show a notification. So something needs to be running in background so that it will not halt your current work and it keeps on running and notifies you when something is available. In those kind of scenarios, you want something to be running in background. So you'll get a task for that. That is called background task. To do background task in Android, you will use services. So service is a framework in Android that helps you to create background tasks. Right. In service, there are three types: local service. Next one is remote service, and third one is intent service. There are three kinds of services here: local service, remote service, intent service. So when Android started, these two came as a part of the framework. As there is a need for more requirements, intent service was added in the newer frameworks of Android above 4.5, I guess. After that, you will have intent service. Before that, there was only two services: local service and remote service. So what is the difference between local, remote, and intent service? Any idea? Any idea what is local and remote service? See, if you create a background task, you want your app only to use that service. If you use a background task, then those kind of service you call it as local service. Means the application that created the service background task can only access that service. That is the what?
Local
Access.
service does not require user interactions. They run on their own.
Any service will not require user interaction. Once started, it will run on their own.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. It doesn't require user interaction. You see, UI requires user interaction, and UI has to be visible on the screen to work, right? If you move it to background, it will stop. Yes or no? Yeah. UI will, when you move it to background, it will stop. So you want something to be running without user interaction, then you'll go with local service or remote service or intent service. All service will do the background task only. But there are difference in between them. First difference is local service. Local service, what it will do. As I told, you create a service, you write a code for that, and you install the app. The app which has the service, host the service, can only access it. Others cannot do that. Means those kind of service is called local service, accessible to the app that created that host the service. Okay, I call it as host the service. Next, remote service. Okay, in iPhones you will probably come across when you're developing an application for iOS. Sorry, and there you will come across scenario where you want to make a network call. For example, you have a server, you want to log into a server. Means you must send a request to a server. In these scenarios, they will not allow you to write your separate communication code to server. In that, they will have something running in the background. You must call that to send request. Okay, you must call already, which is in the phone. You must send request to that. All application will send request to that framework. That framework will send a request and give back a response. Means same background task will be used by every application in the phone. Every application will use that background task. For that, if you want to create those kind of tasks that is shared to all the application, means any application in the phone can use it, we call it as remote service. Okay, local service means accessible to what? Other applications in phone. Applications in phone. Did you get this? Application installed in the phone. Sorry, I need to install in the phone. Intent service. See, local service and remote service will keep on running until you explicitly stop it. Once started, keep this in mind. It keeps on running once started until you stop it or any error occurs and it stops by itself. So when this will kill your battery, right? If it keeps on running, it will kill your battery. I want it to run until my background task is complete. After that, it will stop it will stop. In those scenarios, you will come across called intent service. Suppose you have 100 jobs to be executed. You will send 100 jobs to a service to execute in background. Intent service will queue those tasks and it will execute one by one. Once it completes all the tasks, it will stop itself. Okay. So once started, until it has no job to execute, it will stop. So those kind of services is called intent service, and it is local to the application. And it is local to the application. Means this service stops by itself once started. Keep this in mind. Once started. Starting you need to do. Once started. After all tasks are complete. All tasks are completed. Okay. This is a three different type of services. Clear? It is also called as binder service. It is also remote service is called by another name called binder service. Getting my point? Binder service. Clear? Clear? So now we will take an example of remote service. I will tell you how to create a remote service. It is one of the complex one. So I'll be showing this. Rest is self-explanatory. You can learn it local and intent. Okay. So guys, now we will create one more new project for creating remote service. Clear everyone? And it is also called by a name called AIDL service. Keep this in mind. AIDL stands for Android Interface Definition Language. Android Interface Definition language. I'll tell you what is that. So please note down this. I just ping you all this in chat group. Okay. Now, guys, we'll start a new project. So, guys, everyone now create, open new project. What is that? Everyone go to file, new project, here, empty activity, next. What? Remote service example. Remote service example. Okay. So let's start. Please select Java here. Give the package name. Leave it as it is. What is showing on your machine. Don't worry about it. And if you, or otherwise give it. If I share the code, it will match. So better you give the same name as here. So one, I'll share. I'll just press finish. It will create one more project for me. Okay. So okay, guys. Same. It will create one activity and on layout. Okay. So now services. So everyone, can you see your package name here? It's like this. Please let me know if you find any difficulty. Right click on the package name. There are three things. Android test. This is for unit testing. Don't use this. Without Android test and test, there will be one more package here. That for source code. There you just press what? New. You can see AIDL here. Please choose this option. Right click on the package. New AIDL file. If anyone is facing an issue, please let me know. Again, I'll repeat. Click on package. Right click on package. Go to new in that AIDL and AIDL file. Yeah. Now select the AIDL file. I'll just give an example of a calculator. Means you're making a calculator that is used by every other application in the phone. Okay. I just create, see, I'm just showing you a basic example of add and subtract, but you can create a scientific calculator with complex uh, calculation formulas. So it will be useful. So you can have the service running on your phone and you want to use any of the complex formulas, call the service. It will give the result. Okay, that is how you can utilize a remote service. Create a calculator function that can do complex calculation, expose the APIs to other users. You're exposing the API through Android interface definition language, AIDL file. So you must create what? IADL file. Again, I'll repeat. If anyone is missing, let me know. Uh, New, follow this. If anyone is missing AIDL, your file. I just remove the name. I just give it as I calculator. Why I'm giving a prefix I means it's an interface. So I'm giving. I usually follow this naming convention to give I for interface names. So select, press finish. That's it. So once you do that, you will get one more folder called AIDL. Here you can see. Under that there will be a file called iCalculator.aidl. And this is what you will use. Okay. and you have your classes. Please remove that. Remove that. You can see AIDL here, the folder. Java will be here under the little folder called AIDL. You have calculator.aidl file. You whatever it is there in that, remove inside the interface opening brace and the closing brace. Then you write your function. I will do here add function int x comma int y. Okay, int subtract int x comma int y. Okay, I have created now. I have created now two functions, add and subtract. This function, see, whatever you declare in the AIDL file is the only thing we are exposing it to other application. Means you have one application installed in your phone. You want to create one more application that must use this service. Then you need to share this AIDL file to that service. Sorry, that application. Then that application will add this file to their application and they can access it. It's so simple. Just you need to share this AIDL file to them. So usually Android framework will have many remote services. If you want to access that, just search for the AIDL file of that service. If you get that AIDL file, that's it. You can communicate to that service. So this is very much important. So now I am creating service. So I am creating AIDL file. If already a service is existing in the phone or any framework, then just try to get the AIDL file of that service. Okay. Now I created a AIDL file. I'm done. Next thing is what I need to do is create a service that will implement these methods. Create a service that will implement this method. That must be a service. That must be a service. So it's an activity. I'll create one more service here, new Java class. I will say calculator service. See, I'm creating a calculator service here. Okay. I'll press okay. So it created a new class. So how I'll come back to again to that. How to create, right click, new Java class. Here enter the name as calculator service and press OK. Right click, new Java class, enter. Okay, that's it. It will create a regular class. How to make it a service? Extends service. Extends service. Then you will see a lot of errors. Now you just click on the service here. Automatically the error balloon will come up. Click on error bulb will come up here. Click on this and implement methods. It will ask you to implement one method on bind. So override that. See, whatever may be the service. I will tell you the life cycle of a service first so that you can understand. Yes, life cycle of a service. What is the life cycle of a service? Of a service. First one is on create, on start, on destroy. What is this on create, on start, and on destroy? Anyway, everyone has heard of this. See, when a service is not running, first time it is being called, then it is not yet running. So service will be created. When service is created by the Android operating system, it will call the onCreate method of the service. Which method is called? onCreate method of the service. So onCreate is called only once in the life cycle. So next time when you're trying to start the service, if it will be running. Once started, it will be running. It will call on start method every time. If a service is running, when you try to access the service, if it is running already, on start will be called. On create will be called if service is not running and first time the service has to be instantiated. Then onCreate method will be called by the Android system. Subsequent call to service will trigger onStart method. OnDestroy. This will be called when you are trying to stop a service. OnDestroy method of service will be called. So it is onCreate and onDestroy will be called only once in the life cycle of service. OnStart will be called every time when any application tries to access the service. If it's already running, OnStart will be called multiple times. So you need to override three lifecycle method now. Three lifecycle method. So you note down this. Now, guys. So public void I'm dot make text from this context. I want to say service created. Service created. Post dot then long dot show. Service is created. See, I'm overriding the lifecycle method. So when you do overriding, just add at override annotation above that. Means service class is having a method called onCreate. I'm overriding that in my calculator service so that when I override a lifecycle method, don't forget to add first line is super.onCreate. Means I'm calling a super class onCreate method of service class. Don't forget to add this, otherwise it will cause you a runtime error. Okay, now I have it. So service is created. Now service will be started at what? Public void on start. So I need to understand the syntax of this super dot on start command. So public, I need to add override since it's a lifecycle method. Add override super dot on start command. Okay, paste it. Okay, so it will return you an integer variable. So you need to return this same back again. Okay, now. So when a service is first time it is being created, Android system will call calculator service and it will call onCreate method. If you want to do some initialization before you start doing something, write the code in onCreate method. If you want to do every time when service is reinitiated, no, not reinitiated, is called, you write it in onStart method. If you want something to be called when the service is destroyed, means you want to release some resources, write the code, that piece of code in onDestroy method. So Android system, when it calls it, your code will run. Okay, so super dot on destroy. Okay, on destroy. I'll make it as what? As destroy. Okay. So I'll also add toast message here to show you that service method is called multiple times. Service started. Service running. I'll just give a toast message called service running. Okay. Now I need to make this as a calculator service. Means I must expose some methods, right? This is called by the Android system. This is also called by the Android system. This is also called by some. When what user will call, then that comes. Here I have exposed method. I want to expose two methods, which are those add and subtract. Now, anywhere in your code, outside of any function, you just write iCalculator dot stub of iCalculator equal to new of iCalculator dot stub. Automatically, sorry, I need to compile this because it is not updated yet. Now, everyone, once you create this code, once you create a ADL file, you just try building the project, rebuild project. Once you rebuild, what changes you have made in the ADL file will be reflecting. Otherwise, it will show the old implementation. Yes, build got finished. Then I will now create iCalculator stub. iCalculator equal to new of iCalculator stub. Now you can see two methods. So that you will end the statement. Now there are two methods. When it comes, I'll give x minus y. Okay, I'm returning this. Okay, automatically it has overridden one more method, which is that on bind. When a class extends a service, it is compulsory that it must override which method? On bind method. On bind method is compulsory. These are all not compulsory. Means if you want to do something when the service is being created, then override that method and after the super.oncreate write your code. It will be executed. So if you want to do something after service is started, override that method, and otherwise no need to override. Leave it as it is. Android system will take care of it. If you want to do something when service starts, do this. When you want to do something when service is destroyed, override that method and write the code here. So in on-bind method will be used only for binder service and remote service. So now you have a ADL file. When it is compiled, when I just did a what rebuild, it will generate a file called stub. It will generate a file called stub. I'll just go to that file. I'll click on this. It is auto-generated file from the Android. Android will generate a stub file for this. Means it knows how to communicate with other applications. Means other application can interact with the stub. So in that there are two methods, add and subtract. I implemented that. This on bind method must return the object of type stub. Means object of type which implements add and subtract, which is inside stub. That is stub is generated from ADL file. Clear? Now your service is ready. And anyone can use which method? Add and subtract. Clear? ADL file has an interface with no body for it. Add two methods, add and subtract. Your service is exposing that through a binder. That binder will return the object of the implemented methods of the stub, which is add and subtract. Okay. So this stub will be generated from the ADL file, and you have created a service now which can run at a remote service. How it can run means for local service and intent service, this method must return null. This method must return null for local and binder sorry and intent service. For binder service and remote service, this must return object of type binder. iCalculator dot as binder. Then any application can bind to this and call methods in the stub. The stub is generated from AIDL, means it can call methods which are declared in the AIDL file. Okay. So now I'm done with my service. Yeah, it's a service, not a steps of how to create a service. First thing. Okay. First step, right? Everyone note down. Create a class that extends what service class. Done, right? Next, right. Override, this is mandatory. On bind method of service class. Third step, if required, override. How many methods? Override life cycle methods. What are the life cycle methods? If required, it's not mandatory. On create, on start, and on destroy. Okay, on start and on destroy. Okay, once all three is done, if required, then fourth step is declare the service in Android manifest.xml file. Declare service in Android manifest.xml file. Declare service in Android manifest.xml file. This is the mandatory steps for creating any kind of service. Means any kind of service will follow this step. For remote service, there is an extra method. Remote service only. Remote service only. On bind method. Return null for local and intent service here. On bind method must return the object of type iBinder or dot ADL object. Okay. This is only for remote service. Once you do that, interacting with the service. These are for steps for creating a service. Service. The steps for creating a service. Next step is to what? Interacting with the service. What are steps to interact with the service? So any application can interact with the service for local and intent service. Use start service and stop service methods of activity. Service of context class, sorry, of context. So any application can interact with the service using start service and stop service for local and inter service. For remote bar binder service, we need to have a method called what? Bind service and unbind service. Two methods of context class. So guys, you will be working with the service. To work with service, what do you need? These are the 4 steps which we have done right now. To create a service. Now service is created. I have not done this step. I want to do that right now. Okay. I'm going to share across these steps. Please note it down. Oh, there are some character restrictions. Okay. So I have shared it in chat box, these steps. I have not done these steps. I'm going to do that right now. Okay. Now, how can I change it? I'll come here. I'll just say what? Within the application tag, every Android component must be inside the service tag, and permissions must be within the manifest but outside of the application. Android name, which is the my service name, calculator service. I declared my service in the manifest. Now I have an activity and a service. Now how to work with the service? This is a challenge now, right? Now what I will do is I'm gonna create two button and one text view. And see, I'm gonna create two buttons now, not a text view. I'm gonna remove all this. Just share it across here. Meanwhile, I'll share this code. Please copy it. I'll share the AIDL file code here. Just copy paste it in a AIDL file. Remove whatever you have other than this package name and copy paste it there. Okay. See, your file name and this must match. If you have given different file name, cases also matters. Please give the same. Okay, say this and this must match. Okay, next what I will do is I'll share you this. I'll share piece by piece now. Can't share. I'll share a service declaration in the manifest also. Yep. Now I've created my service. The next step will be what? Creating a class activity and accessing that service. So what I will do is I'll just go here and I'll change the orientation to what? Android colon orientation that is equal to vertical. Match parent. I just change it to two buttons here. The name is call add method. Call subtract method. As I'm just creating here one linear layout, which with two buttons. What are those two buttons? Add and subtract. So when I press add button, I'll change orientation to horizontal. It is showing one below another. Stop the screen. Yes, guys. Now I have a add button, subtract button. And now I need to do is when I press the add button, it must call the add method of service. When I call subtract method, it must call subtract method of service via AIDL communication. So I want you to run through a steps. I'll tell you now. You're able to see notepad, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Great. Now, what is the third step I want right now is first. See, for remote service, as I told, bind service and unbind service. These are two methods which I need it right now for communicating with the remote service. Okay. For that, now I want to interact with the service. I will call bind service. Once binded, I can call n methods exposed by the service. Okay. When it is called unbind service, means you will disconnect from the service. But service will be running. You are disconnecting. Bind service will connect to a running service and you can call any methods in that service. Unbind service will disconnect from the service, but service will be running. Service will be running. Your UI will get disconnected, or any component which is using this bind and service, unbind service, that will get connected and disconnected using bind service and unbind service methods. So now I have a add button, subtract button. So I'll share across the source code for you. You can start integrating. Okay. Now I will make this. I'll go to my activity here now. Button of BTN add, BTN subtract. Okay. BTN add equal to what? Button of find view by ID r dot id dot BTN add BTN what? Subtract equal to what? Button of I'll bring the references. BTN subtract. I got the references here. I will just, as I did previously, I just implement the on-click listener method. Okay. Implements method here. It's done. If V equals what? BTN add do this. Else if V equals BTN subtract do this. I did all this. Now I set on click listener now. BTN sub dot set on click listener this. BTN add dot set on click listener this. Now I created a listener for the methods, everything. Now I just need to do is call service and bind and unbind from the service. I just sent you this piece of code. Once I finish this, I'll send you this also. Okay. Now, before I bind to a service, I need this, which is that service connection object. Service connection or service connection equal to new of service connection. So I could able to create a service connection here. Okay. Object. So once I get my activity gets binded to a service, service connected method will be called by the Android system. So you will come to know you're connected to a service. When you try to bind it, this callback method will be called. When you are disconnected, unbind service method is called. Your unbinding from the service is successful, then on service disconnected method will be called. These two methods are the part of service connection interface. Okay, now see here, guys. When I see on create, before my activity is visible on the screen, I am trying to connect to which service? ID equal to new of intent. From this activity, I want to connect to which activity? Calculator service dot class. Okay. Start service. So not start service. Means I want to connect to which service? Calculator service. I am creating an intent for that. If you want to start a worker receiver or service or anything, intent is used by from Android framework to start any of the Android component or interact with any of the Android components. So I'll use that intent IT. I'll pass the object of the service connection which I have created here. So when it gets bind to a service, it will call which method? On create service connector method of which class? Service connection class. So intent means bind auto create means if it is not running, start it. Start the service. If it is running, connect to that directly. So on when I launch my activity, it gets connected to service. How it will I'll come to know it's connected to service or not. It will call which method? On service connected. So what I will do is I'll go here, I calculator service dot I calculator here. Means I know my ADL interface. So I called I calculator. Now what I will do when it is connected, it will call I binder. This object will have a link to the service. This object will have a link to the service. Now what I will do, I calculator equal to service dot as data dot sorry stop dot as interface. Is that service? Give me the service connection as interface. I have created object of type I calculator. Okay. So I got connected to service and I stored the link to that service. Now using I calculator, I can call I calculator as a IADL service. So using I calculator, I can call any methods in the service, which are two methods we have, add and subtract. So when I do I calculator, I can call which method? Add. I'll pass 10 comma 20. Result will come. I'll store the result in what? Result. Sorry. Result. Sorry. And result equal to add. It may throw exception, so I am guarding it with try catch. Okay. So when a method comes, what I will do is toast dot make text from this context add result. I'll say add result equal to what? Result toast dot length long dot show. It will show the result of the add function. If I want to what? Subtract, then I will call 10 minus 20, 34, sorry, 30, sorry, 30 minus 20. It will give me result as 20. Okay. So I'll make it as subtract result. So when I press add button, I'm calling the add method of service. When I press subtract button, I'm calling the subtract method of service and showing the result. So when I onCreate method is called, I am trying to connect to the service which is already running. If not running, it will start that service and it will bind to that. How I'll come to know it is bind or not? It will call on service connector method of service connection interface and pass the service reference here. I will convert into interface by calling iCalculator stub as interface, and I'll store the reference in iCalculator. iCalculator is the object of type IADL interface class. All done. Now, when service get connected, I'll show a toast message now here. Toast dot make test from this connector. Connect bind it to service. Bind it to service. Toast dot length long dot show. Why it is showing means I'm inside inner class, so I need to give it as main activity of this. On service disconnected. I'll show unbind from service. Disconnected from service. So I got connected and disconnected both, and when I press add button, I'm already connected. It will call add method and show the result. Subtract method, separate result. So what I will do is I have done here in the on create method. Let me make it in on resume. I'll show you how to do it. Public void on resume. I'll override a third method and I'll copy paste this code. Instead of doing it on create, I'll do it on resume. You know about on resume, I guess. It is called a lifecycle method of an activity. When your activity is visible on the screen, on resume method will be called. So when I'm visible on the screen, I'll connect to a service. Makes sense now. Now public void on stop super dot on stop means when your activity is moved into background means you press a home button of your phone and your activity is minimized, then on stop method will be called. So I will unbind from service. How to unbind? Just do this. Note, please note, on create method is called before activity is visible on the screen. First time it is being created, it is not visible on the screen. Then don't need an intent. I just unbind from the service. Okay. Now guys, I'm done with my implementation. I just walked through once what I did in my activity. Okay. Here I create anyhow I brought a reference of two buttons and added it here and set up on click listener for subtract and add button. This activity means on create is called before activity is visible on the screen. On resume will be called when activity is showing on the screen. So when it's showing on the screen, I'm connecting to service. So on stop will be called when you press home button and the activity is pushed to back. Means some other activity came over you. In that scenario, unbind on stop method will be called. I'm unbinding from the service. Then you're connecting to service when only your activity is visible on the screen, and you're disconnecting from service when you're in background. So whenever there's a connection, disconnection happens. Service connection, on service connected method, and disconnected method will be called. In the when it is get connected, I'm bringing the reference of a service here, so that I can call the methods whenever I want. So I'll showing a reference here. I set toast message disconnect from service. So using that service object which I brought it in on service connected, I'm gonna call add and subtract method. I am able to now call add and subtract using iCalculator interface object. So I'm done with my service. Let's see it works or not. Okay. This is about service class. I'm gonna share this code. So discard the old content and take this new code. So I need to break this also now. I'll just copy. Guys, I'll be not sending you this part. It will be too much in a chat box. I'm breaking this into till if loop. Great, I could able to do that. And from here till the else part and end of the on click method. Okay. So try to take this code and put it into your project. The same will be there so that we are on sync. Shall I give 10 minutes for you to integrate this code? Ask me if you want to see anything here. So I have my visor now. Let me run this at, on my phone. See, can you see a toast message here? Bind it to service. When I press back, service destroyed. Can you see it here? Again, what I do? I'll come here. See, bind it to service. Bind it to service. When I press add now, can you see result 30 coming out? When I press subtract now, I'm getting a result 10. Can you able to see the toast message in the below? See, add 30, subtract 20. Now see, I'm unbinding from the service. I press back button. You can see service destroyed is being called. Now guys see, I'll open my activity. Now no service is running. No service is running. Now what I will do is, I will just go here. Hope everyone is seeing the visor screen. Yes or no?
Yes, it's
Yes, sir.
visible. Yes.
Yes. I just go to remote service. You can see bind it to service. Can you see the message? Bind it to service. Now when I press add button, can you see 30 is result is coming? Why? Because I am passing here what 10 comma 20, so it is coming 30. Now when I press subtract button, I'm getting result 10. Okay. So when I press back button, it is going to on stop. I'm unbinding from the service. So you can see one more toast message here, service destroyed. Okay. Why service is getting killed? Because in newer version of Android framework, and if you don't specify service to, there's one more API right now. It's called start foreground. Start foreground is one more API like start service and bind service. If you want that to be running indefinitely, you use start foreground method. That will means if your activity is also moved to background, it keeps on running. It keeps on running, and you can again connect to that. So here, since my phone is on Android 10, and in that in a newer version, service due to saving the battery, they will kill the service if you don't start it as foreground. Since I use binder service, at least one of app is binded to that, it will be running. Once it gets disconnected, no apps is binded to the service, it gets destroyed automatically. Yeah. So now I have shared you the code. You just copy paste it into your classes and try to run it. I will take 10 minutes for that. Is that fine? If you find any difficulty integrating, please let me know. I'll open that class for you. You can see and paste the code in from the chat box. In the same order how I have sent, please copy paste it in the same way so that it gets easily integrated there. If one of you are able to run this example, please let me know. So guys, so let's start with the third component, which is we have planned is content providers. So we can take up this. I'll share you the complete source code after the session. So let's start with the third component, which is this content provider, which we are planned today. So what do you know about content provider, guys? No idea on content providers? Hello? Yes, any idea what is content providers? See, you are storing your phone contacts on your phone using Contacts app. Contacts is an app that will help you to show your phone contacts and your call logs, everything. So it is stored and managed by Contacts app, but your WhatsApp can access it. Yes or no? Your WhatsApp or any application can access your phone contacts. Then the database which was created by the Contacts app is accessible to WhatsApp. So previously I told databases are used for private storage. Means means the data application which created a database can only access it. So if there you may come across scenarios as I told, Contacts app is sharing data to WhatsApp app. Means I want to share my database to other applications in the phone or any data, not only database. I say like any database and any data that needs to be shared to other application in the phone, then I share the data by using content providers. By using content providers. What content providers will do, it will provide a layer of abstraction over the data so that it can be saved, accessed and stored. Safely accessed and stored and is shared to every application in the phone. Okay, so in those scenarios, we'll use content providers. As I told, content providers is used to share the data to other applications in the phone. Not only database, any kind of data if you want to share, you can use content providers. One example of a content provider is your phone's contact, your Wi-Fi device list, or your Bluetooth device list, means connected device list. All these are stored in the phone. You other application can access it because they are sharing their data. Means they are the content providers who are accessing the data. So now I am making my own content provider so that this can be accessed by other applications in the phone. To do that, so now we will run with the content provider example. I will show you steps and how to create it. So you can use the source code to. I'll share the source code later. You can run it on your machine. So steps to create a content provider. Write down steps to create a content provider. So first one, create a class that extends content provider class. Override on create method of content provider. Override on create method of content provider. Third step, on create method of a content provider. The third step will be override on create, override insert, delete, update, query, get URI, methods of content providers. Fourth step is declare the method in and declare the content provider. Sorry, not method. Content provider in Android manifest.xml file. In Android manifest.xml file. Accessing content provider. Okay. define. Next step is define content URI and declaring authorities property of Android manifest declaration. Provider declaration. Guys, as I told, content provider wraps the data. So if you want to do any manipulation of the data, it will provide you these methods. Insert method, you call the insert method to insert the data, delete method, update method, query method, and get URI method of the content provider. Get URI method will tell you what kind of data you're going to get from query method. So as I told, it wraps the data. It must provide a means to access the data. It is providing that access via these methods. This method belongs to which class? Content provider class. Okay. So you just create a class that extends content provider, override this, your content provider is ready, but your data is not ready. It means which then you write the code inside insert method to manage your data, code inside delete method to manage your data, means to delete the data which you want, update method to update your data, query method to query your data, get URIs method of content providers. Get URI will tell any other application what kind of data I'm going to get from this content provider. This get URI method will tell you. So next, your content provider is ready, your implementation is ready. Next step, what you're going to do is declare the content provider manifest file. Means you have an Android manifest file. In that, you need to declare the provider. Then your application is sharing the data to other application. To do that, you need to define a content URI. Using this URI, this content provider will be accessed. The content provider will be accessed using the URI. Okay, that you need to do is the manifest declaration. Now I'm going to follow these steps and I'll get a content provider for you. Okay, so now we'll start with content provider, file, new, what, project. I'll just go here, empty project, next, content provider example. I'll just type it. You need to follow me. I'll be sharing the source code. Please go through what I do right now. Okay, so the content provider, a project is created. Now I've lost this. Now guys, you have content provider. How to create a content provider? Right click on this Java class, my content provider. I just give the name as my content provider. You can give any class name here. Okay, I'll take an example of a user's database. So user provider. Okay, the provider. I'll press OK. It created a class to me, a new Java class. I extend this as what? Content provider, as I explained. As I explained, I'm making it as a content provider. Now, see, I'm not getting anything, right? I just hit a balloon here. It tells you which are the steps I need to follow. Which is the step? Create a class extend content provider. I did this step. Next step will be what? Override Oncreate method of content provider. So it is telling me that. It's telling me that I'll go here, implement methods. You can see it is telling you to implement how many methods? Query, insert, delete, update, get type. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, it's done. My content provider is ready, but I don't have any data to manipulate. Now, what I will do is I will create a database for you that will store F name, first name, last name, and age of an user in a database. Since I create a database, it is private to the application which created it. I want to share it. So I create a content provider, but I don't have data with me. So I'm going to create now is a database. Create now is a database. I'm go here. I'll create my database. Okay. I'm just gonna press OK here. To create database, I think you have knowledge of this SQLite Open Helper. I'll create a class that extends SQLite Open Helper. I'll follow the steps. Implement methods, which are the method on create and on upgrade. Still I have error. I need to follow this step. Create constructor that matches supercast constructor call. There are 4 methods I will show you. I'll select the first one only. Okay. So now I'm creating a database. I'll create a database name as what? I declare a static variable here. Static string database underscore name equal to my database name is what? Users. Okay. Static string. I have created string here. Database name. Okay. So in here, I just make it like a db dot exec sql. Here, I just pass the query, create table query, create table, the table name. I created as users, f name, first name, it is a text. I'm creating query now, l name, it is a text, age, it is an integer. Okay, I'm gonna create that. Now I column called id, that is integer. Okay, I'm gonna create like this. So when I call this SQLite Open Helper, it will create a table called users with 4 fields. Now I have my database also ready with me. Now what I need to do is I must wrap this database inside my user provider. How I'm gonna do that? See here. I will make it as my database object here. Database. Okay. What I will do is when a content provider's onCreate method is called, I'm gonna database equal to new of my database. I'm calling the constructor of which class? This class. Here I'm passing the context, get context, because this has set 4 arguments. So next I'll pass here is a database name. My database dot database name I'm gonna pass. Cursor factory I don't want, I'll give it null. Version is 1, first version of the database. So I have given here. Now my database object is ready. I'll return true. If you don't return true, your content provider will not work. So make sure that it will return true so that when Android system when it calls, this method must return true. Okay. Now my database is ready for insertion. Next thing I want to do is query. I'll come back to that. Okay.
I think there is some issue with the network. Please wait. Voice is not audible, Raghavendra. Participants, are you able to listen?
Now?
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. I got disconnected. Network issue. Let me write this so that Okay, so I'm done. Now, guys, what is this? I'll tell you. Once again, I'll walk through this. What is provider name? What is URL? This content provider can be accessed by using what? Using the name provider. But this is a name for it. But external application can access it by using a complete URL. That URL starts with content colon double slash is mandatory. Provider name can be anything as you have given here. Slash user, this also can be anything, but it has to be meaningful since I'm accessing users data, it has to be users. So I am parsing it. Means I'm passing it as URL object. I'm storing the URL here. Now, if any application sends you a request to query the data, okay, means there's a query method will accept a URI. How they will give you URI? Content colon double slash users. Okay, if I say users means I will give all the data in the database. If I send users slash one means I will be fetching the data that is starting with the index ID 1. Why? Because in my database, I have a column called ID that is having the index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I send one, I must fetch the query based on one and I need to send. I need to send. So I'm matching the URI which is gonna come. For example, see here. Now I'm gonna write the code for the query method. If URI matcher dot match. So here I'm matching the URI to what? Which is the URI? Which is the incoming URI. If it give the value as 1 means it's trying to fetch all the data. Else if trying to fetch equal to all. If it is equal to all which I given there. Okay. Else if I'm trying to fetch the data as what? Single, then I'm trying to fetch a single data. Now I need to write a method to to query this database based on the URI sent from by the user. So he will send you n columns here, projection, all those stuffs. I'm gonna insert that. Now I have the database here. Okay. Now what I will do when he sends me the request to fetch all the data, what I will do is I will use the database dot get readable database. There's a method called get readable database, which will give me the object in readable mode. SQL, it will give object of SQLite database. DB equal to this. DB dot is a method called query. Okay, is a method called query. To that I must pass the table name, that is users is my table name. Users is my table name. Sorry, database name is users. Change database name as data.db. This is my database name. Under the table name is users. So I'll give a table name as users, comma, columns, projections, what we have sent, selection, what we have sent, and that argument, what we have sent, sort order, what we have sent. We have sent, I'm just passing it here. Sorry for that. Query method. Table name is users. Okay, I'm just gonna miss. I'm just right now, I'm telling that I'm restricting single access. I'm only giving all. So when you call a URI for single access, I'm not giving anything. Okay, I'm just calling the URI for all access. I'm returning all the data in the table. Means from a table, I don't want, I want, means if I give columns as null, I know I need to give the column F name and L name. I'll give projections only. Okay. So I want the columns which you pass from the user table. I don't want the where condition, any other thing. So it is nothing but select. This is nothing but select star from users. So I'll give a cursor here, cursor object, cursor of C equal to this. Using this, you can get the data. Return C. Cursor will help me to go through the database content. I think you're aware of this before you have tried database example. So I'm returning the cursor here. So cursor will be returned to the user. User can access this data using this cursor object. So I will not implement every method. I'll only implement how many methods? Two methods, which is insert and delete. So here user will come for inserting a data. I will match the URI for anything. Means you may send a wrong URI to access the data. This URI matcher will restrict the access to the data. Match, I'll give the URI equal to all. That's great. I is accessing my URI only. Here, I need to insert the data. So you will pass the values to insert here and URI here. What I will do is db dot database dot get writable database. I'll open the database in writable mode. Okay. db dot have a method called insert. Let this, which is a table name users. I don't need this column, and what he will pass, I'll just gonna pass the values here. So okay, as here now this is a content provider which can be accessed like this. Let me show you. Guys, now this is a content provider which can be accessed used like this. Content colon double slash com dot example dot users com dot example dot user provider slash users. Means external application knows this only. It knows only this. So when it gives this, it uses this and he calls which method? Insert, delete, update, query, and get type method of a content provider to this. But in my provider, I'm not supporting which method? Delete and update. Okay, I'm only supporting how many methods? Only two methods. Which are those? Insert and query. So any user can use this URI and call which method? Insert and query. I have only implemented which methods? Insert method and see in query method I've written some code that will do something, and in query method I'm restricting that it can only fetch all the data. It cannot fetch single data. This URI matcher will check URI. For example, mm, this is the sorry. I'll share this. As you see here, this is a content provider which is having two type content slash user slash hash. So in the query method, I am filtering here if it is equal to this type give it all or give it single. If it is equal to all, I'm just getting all the data. Single I'm not supporting, so that I have not written any code here. So you cannot fetch a single record, you can only fetch all the records. So here I have one more table called insert. I implemented insert method, which will give me what? Which will give me list of all the, if it's asking like, if you're sending a URL like this, like how I'll tell you, sorry, not this, which is that, okay, yeah. If he sends like this, I'm not supporting. You want to fetch a single record, I'm currently not supporting. If I want, I can support. I'm not supporting this. If URI is like this, you can access which method? Insert and query method. I've done that now. I need to run this code to integrate. Now my content provider is ready. I need to declare inside what? Manifest file. I'm gonna do that right now. So I'm going here as a provider, Android authorities. Authorities is nothing but the name which I'm given here. What? com.example.my user provider. So everyone can access with this name. Next is content. Sorry, my user provider is the declaration of this content provider inside manifest. Now, this application hosts a content provider which can be accessed with the name com.example.myuserprovider. In that, when a user uses this name, it gets linked to which class? My user provider class. My user provider class supports two methods right now. You can implement n number of methods. Two methods, query. That query method also will restrict the URL to access only all the methods, not all the records. So I'm written query for that. If it's asking for a single record, I'm not supporting. This is how I can restrict users from accessing data from my database using content provider, or I can provide access to all, or I can restrict. It's up to me. Here in this, I'm matching the URL, I'm opening it, right, means I'm trying to insert data to database. Whatever he sends, I'll insert. That is now. Now we'll use this to insert data to a database and show the data. I'll just fast forward run this linear layout code. As I just created a layout now, which will have the data like this, and I'll create a text view now so that I can show the data which is coming from the database. So here, get one more text view to show the data. Now I'll go here, I'll just create a label text view here. Yes, about all the references now. When I call insert, as I told you, when there is a content provider, you first try to search what is the provider. For example, what is the content URI for that? Means here, I'm on a right now how to access that. I'll say URL equal to. I'll just give it like this. It always start with what content colon. I'm just gonna. So if there is a content provider to be accessed, they will be sharing you this information, the content URI. You need to get that content URI like this. So you know, okay, I'm need to access the users table. Okay, great. Next, so they will be giving you they will be sharing this content URI using that. I'll give this URL. From this, from this part, it will know, parser will know that this is a content provider. Which content provider? This. It will tell the Android system that I need this content provider. Okay. Under that, which is the URI? Users. I'm gonna give like this. That's it. Now get context. See, there's a method called get content resolver dot. There's a method called insert. You pass URI. Okay. To that, you need to pass content values. Content values of CV equal to new of content values. So to that, you must know the column names. CV dot. I have a column name called ID dot CV dot put what ID column. I'll put as 1. Okay. See, this table has 4 columns: ID, F name, L name, age. They will share you this information also. If they are making any database as a content provider and you don't know the table, you need to know only these things: the URI for that, what are all the columns in the table, what are all the columns in the table. That information will be shared to you if they are making it as a content provider. As an app user, you need to use what? Only know the table names, the content URI. Rest, you can access it easily. So age, ABC, I'll give you. So DF, I'll give you. Age is 20, I'll give you. The names matches here. So done. So this method will insert data to a database. Okay. So I want to query the data from the database. I'll copy the same URL again. I just paste it here, this too. Next, there's a method called managed query. So I'll pass the URI here. Section. I'll pass which columns I want. ID, F name, cell name, each. Other columns I'll give it null because I don't need any other thing. For methods I will pass URI dot columns dot null comma null. It will give object of to me cursor. See, okay. I'll move to the cursor for data. C dot move to next. I'll check where the cursor is not equal to null. C dot T not equal to null to check your null as written from the content provider. So if not, it is there, some data is there. I will go to that and move to next. I'll get the data. C dot. So I have my text view now. I'll set the data for that. So instead of setting that, I'll append it. ID equal to C dot get int. Since it is integer, I'll get the ID. Column index is 0. In the order I have passed, I need to, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So age is integer, I'll change it to string. Change it to string. 1, 2. So before I start this, I'll just set text. I'll make it as empty text so that my data will be ready. So my content provider is ready now. I can run this. Now let me share my screen. So I'm running my code now through Visor. I'll just share my screen. I don't have any errors with me right now. I think my code is gonna work. So you can see the data inserted message coming out, an query, the data is coming here. Can you see? Every time when I press query, there will be two data. Let me make the UI more displaying of data more better way. I just change it here. I know it is F name and L name. I'll give a space here now to better represent the data. Okay. I'll show data in my visor. See, I can see the toast data inserted which I added here. See, you can see the toast message inserted here. Every time I'm inserting one ABC DF. Let me make it like this to make more interactive. Int I equal to 0. Okay. Now what I will do is I plus plus. I just append I at the end for everything so that every row will be unique. Okay. Age will be 20. Now when you visualize the data here, query. Can you see here? Every time now the data is entering and I'm querying, inserting a data, querying. You can see a different thing coming out, right? Data is coming in different way. Means every time I'm incrementing I, so every row gets inserted in database. When I press the query method, I'm fetching all the data I'm showing here. So what this example signifies is if you want to develop a content provider, do like this. If you want to share the database data, create a database and enclose inside content provider. Okay, if you are creating a content provider, you don't want to create a context database right now because it is already existing. How are you going to access it? This code will tell you how you're going to access that. Only you need what? The content URL of contact database and the column names in that table. That if you search in Google or if you search the Android developer tool, there they will give the information of the context app, phone contacts app URI and the columns. Just you need to use that URI. See, a few lines of code. You can access the context of your phone. You can insert data to the database context by using the insert method provided by them. What they do is they will not allow you to insert data. What they do is they will restrict here whatever they want. Every data will be filtered here and will inserted. Inserted here in the insert method. That is how they will restrict it. This is how you can create a content provider. This is how you can access a content provider that is present in phone. Right now, I'm accessing content provider of my application only. Like that, you can access content provider of any application. You need to know the content URI and the columns names in the that content provider by content provider. So get content resolver is a method that will help you to access the content provider by passing the URI. So this sums up your content provider example. So this tells you how to access content provider and how to create content provider and enclose a database inside content provider. This makes sense, right? Now see, every time I insert and I query, a new row is coming out, right? So like that, you can, instead of I'm inserting data by pressing insert button, you can create a UI and create a text box, take the data from that, insert to database or into content provider. So this sums up our today's session on content providers. I'm going to share the complete 3 examples with the faculty members. They will share it to you people. So if you have any queries, please let me know. Just unmute your mic and you can ask.
Any questions you can ask. Unmute yourself and ask the questions. Else you can just put it in the chat box also.
Yeah. And then I assume everything you understood.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll conclude, Raghavendra.
Yes. Then, yeah.
Thanks a lot, Raghavendra, for your wonderful hands-on session. Hope definitely it will be useful for our students and the participants. Thank you so much. Now, I request Professor Veena ma'am to deliver vote of thanks.
Thank you, Lavanya ma'am. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I would like to thank our speaker for today, Mr. Raghavendra CR, technical architect, for making this webinar interesting and meaningful, that too on the coding part. I thank you all, everyone, one and all, for all the students who are present here. Hope so this webinar is very useful for you for your lab-oriented subject also. We appreciate you all for being here. Thanks again for joining us today. I like to thank Dr. Siddharaju sir, Dean Academics and Professor and Head for his support and encouragement. I wish to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. C. Nanjundaswamy sir, for providing encouragement and support in his absence. I would like to thank all the coordinators for organizing and making this webinar a success. Once again, thank you all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Lavanya, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Veena ma'am. Thank you, Raghavendra sir, once again.
Sure. Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
Lam.
Thanks for your concern and thanks for accepting our invitation and making the event successful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks. It
Thank you.
was a nice
Thank
session.
you.
Thanks all the
Yeah, thank you.
participants. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.